How's it? Welcome back to the channel. So here's a hypnagogic meditation technique that you can use to help you get through stage 1 of sleep, lucidly aware. And plus, it's also just kind of fun to do it and a neat experience to kind of witness firsthand. And so this technique does share some similarities, or it does have some overlap with my plain dead technique, just with like your attention placed in a bit of a different way. But some things that can really help with this is, one, it can be helpful to be like super duper tired so you can hit stage 1 of sleep really quickly. But kind of like opposite of that, it works great too when you're dealing with insomnia and you just keep, getting really close to the stage 1 of sleep area, or maybe even entering it before you, wake completely back up again. But that can be a great opportunity. I mean, insomnia is really just a great opportunity to witness and play around in hypnagogia, period. But you also don't need any of that if you can just keep your mental faculties intact and just lie in bed and wait until you start getting close to stage 1 of sleep. Then you can switch over to this technique. So all you're going to do with this is imagine that you're lying in a different position than you really are, like in waking life reality. And then what will happen is, as you start to enter into stage 1 of sleep, is you'll realize that you start to really feel like you are actually lying in that position. And for me, I actually like to kind of make it a bit odd, because then the physical sensations you feel from it are just a bit neater. But for me, I like to imagine that I'm like lying down like a steep incline, so my feet are like above my head. And then it just makes, when that feeling starts to kick in, it's just a bit more pronounced and a more obvious feeling. But another one that I'll do a lot, because I do like to sleep with my back, but I'm not totally flat, like I like a ton of pillows. So I have like a bunch of pillows underneath my knees to help keep my low back neutral. I got a pillow under my head, of course, and then like I like to put pillows like underneath both my arms. I'm kind of in like almost like a coffin setup or something with my pillows. But what I'll do for that is I can just imagine that I'm lying like completely flat, maybe even like a harder surface. And then once you start to actually, once you start to hit stage 1 of sleep, you start to realize that it actually feels like you are lying in these imagined positions. And then once you do that, you're really close. Once you can feel it, you're like basically entering into hypnagogic or stage 1 of sleep already. So then typically for me, the hypnagogic image will start coming on pretty soon after that. Now, sometimes you'll as you're doing this, you'll see the images coming on, you'll wake back up. But, as always with all this hypnagogic meditation stuff, don't sweat it. You're already that close to stage 1 of sleep. You'll probably get back there quickly, kick back, lie in bed, and then keep imagining yourself in these different positions until you feel it again. Then the imagery can come back up. And then for me, I like just to switch to following the images once they actually do start to come up. And they will, at least for me, they come on, like they start to command so much of your attention that even if I do kind of like to hold on to paying attention to the physical sensations of my body, I still find that eventually, the stickiness or the attractiveness of these images eventually go ahead and pull me towards it. Some other things that can help with this though, and how it kind of links up to my plain dead technique, is if you're starting to do this maybe a little bit early, right? So you're imagining yourself lying in different positions, you're feeling nothing, when am I going to fall asleep? When will this thing I'm talking about actually start to happen? This is where it lines up with my plain dead technique, is where you can just do it at the very bottom of every exhale, right? So when you inhale, you kind of let your mind go, think about whatever you want. But at the very bottom of your exhale, when you're at the most relaxed state, that's when you really want to focus on imagining yourself lying in, some different position than you really are. Search for that feeling. If you don't feel it yet, breathe back up, let whatever come up. Then at the bottom of the exhale, try again. And then eventually, when you get to the bottom of the exhale, at least that's when I normally first notice it, you will start to feel that you are in that position. Then you'll know you're on the right track. Then wait for the images to come on, and then do your hypnagogic meditation thing. But anyway, hope that made sense. And that'll wrap it up. Until the next video, keep the hypnagogic meditation practice legit.